Hey everyone, welcome to Boosty Tutor. I'm Brandon, and today we're going to be doing a video I haven't done in a hot minute. Got sidetracked with all the new releases, and frankly, kind of forgot about it a little bit until someone brought it up, and that is my all foil cube right here. So my cube is, like I said, all foil, but it's only things that were printed with the modern border, but it's like the last modern border, so it's already, who cares? But I mainly just did that because I didn't want the price to get out of control on foils for like Grim Monolith, Gaze Cradle, stuff like that. I mean, there's some, a few high-end items there, but nothing like in the thousands of dollars range. So we'll be talking about my favorite color, red, but also the most boring, straightforward, lame color for cube. I don't know. It's so hard with red because, like I said, it's straightforward, it's direct damage, it's aggro creatures. It only wants to do one thing. It does what red does. And it's hard for it to branch out unless you make it like a support color. And even then, like maybe you want to do like land destruction. Like that's no fun for anyone. And it's such a yawn of a color in cube. But it also, if you love red, you're going to draft it and you're going to go aggro. Whatever. I'm rambling right now. Let's get right to it. Go over my red in my cube and see how it is. All right, here we go. We're going to do my red creatures first. We're going to start off with the small ones because, those are the best. What red wants to do. Looks a little hazy there, but of course, we're going to start off with good old Goblin Guide. So, I don't know, has this fallen out of favor? Because I still think this is an amazing red creature, but I was looking on some updated list and I didn't see him anywhere. So, I don't know. I think he's amazing. 1-drop, haste. It's a 2/2. Yeah, they get a land, but who cares? You're just trying to get damage in early and fast. So, still love this guy. Grim Lavamancer, another 1-drop. You can do damage just by using the cards in your graveyard. Unless they have flashback, you're not using your graveyard too much in red. So, a nice way to utilize that. Lightning Berserker. This, sadly, is one of the last, time I think I updated. I never really got to play this one because I haven't played my cube in forever. But, I mean, it seemed fine. Dash is a mechanic that is very fast, and you can get this out multiple times. If you have a ton of mana to dump, it becomes big. Just, if it gets blocked, it's dead, basically. So that's what sucks about it, but you want to get this out really early. So I don't know if this works out. Probably cuttable, but I'm sure there's been better stuff, right? Legion Loyalist, still like this card. The Battalion kind of sucks because I don't really like Battalion, but in red, it's fine because you have so many creatures that are just attacking and you want to do something. You want to get a reason to attack in there besides damage. And this gives you a way to, get first strike and trample and, can't be chump blocked by tokens. So very nice. And it's got a Boros symbol. Come on. Gotta love that. Stromkirk Noble. I love this card. I've always loved this card. Just the fact that it's a 1-drop, attacks, can't be blocked by humans. That doesn't matter too much. It kind of does, though. A lot of things have human that you're like, oh, crap, I didn't realize that. But it just gets bigger and bigger. And if you can put a counter on it, it just gets out of control early in the game. I love this card. Goblin Bushwhacker. It's one of those cards that I always think, is this really that great? But then I play with it and I have a ton of creatures and it's so good. It amps everyone up so much. But I wonder if maybe there's been better stuff for it. I mean, it's technically a 2-drop always, because how many times are you going to do the just do it as a 1-drop? But still, as a 2-drop, I think it's fine because it works early game, it works late game, though usually you try not to play it early, you want to play it late game, so maybe that's a reason to cut it. So, I don't know, I still like it. Fire Drinker Satyr, this card, it's one of those cards I look at it and it's like, man, I don't like this card, but 2/1 for a 1-drop that you can pump up is just way too good of a deal, even if it does a ton of damage to you. That's why I'm always looking at it, I'm like, oh, really? I'm going to take so much damage. But, you're red, you don't care, you just want to get in there, get as much damage as you can. But, I mean, late game, this kind of hurts a lot, so still think it's cuttable, though. I think you still keep it. Monastery Swiftspear, still love this card. Haste, the prowess is great in red. Just, the 2 toughness helps it a lot. It's a lot of times it can just get chump blocked and not die, and I love that, so still love this card, still going to keep it. I like that. I love that art. Zergo Bell Striker. I mean, hey, dash, like I said, I like for red. It's nice. There's a 1-drop. It's a 2/2. Can't get chump blocked by things. It's fine. It's just one of those cards you're like, yeah, you got to run this because it's just too good. It's nothing exciting. It's just a good card. young pyromancer. I mean, this card is always going to be great. Anytime you play unlimited, it's amazing. It has just so much value. I've always loved this card, and you know, it's what's nice about it is it's a 2/1, so you know it can attack on its own decently, but it's like a magnet for removal. This comes down, and people just like, okay, I gotta use my spell that will kill anything just to kill this, basically. So I love that. Eidolon, the Great Revel, just another card that is amazing in red. Yeah, it hurts you, but it hurts other players so much. Like, you can just hold on to your stuff till this dies and not play it. I mean, if you're going to take damage, yeah, you're getting dealt 2 damage, but a lot of times they're getting dealt more. So that's why it's great for red players. Just love this card. Abbot of Carol Keep, once again, prowess, love that. This is a nice way to just, you know, get to draw an extra card almost. A lot of people were saying this is the red Snapcaster. It is not. It never lived up to that, but still really great in a red deck for cube, I think. And really nice shiny. Mog War Marshal. This is like just old school card. Still awesome. I mean, it's not like amazing or anything, but it just has a ton of value, which is what I like. Because you just get like 3 creatures basically. You play this, you get a 1/1. You can pay the echo or not, and like when it dies, you get it, or when you can't pay the echo, you get another 1/1. Just, hey, a lot of times, you know, you're just making 2 1/1s for 2 mana, which is fine, but, you know, sometimes you get 3 creatures, and that's fine too. I just like it for going wide and attacking, yeah, you know. Also, Goblin, so it helps with other cards in the cube. Ash Zealot, this card, I don't know, this never was that exciting to me. It's like one of those cards you're like, yeah, this is amazing on paper, it looks great, but the double red for a 2/2 first strike haste, you know, like I said, that sounds great, but I don't know, just never seemed to do enough. And, you know, the play cards from the graveyard deals 3 damage to him is nice, but how often is that going to happen? How often is this going to stay in play when someone wants to play something from the graveyard? Like, either it's going to deal 3, and what they play is totally going to destroy you, or they're just going to kill this and then play their thing from the graveyard. So I could see cutting this. Keldon Marauders, once again, much like the Marshal, one of those cards where it's just a lot of value. 2-drop for 3/3, deals 1 damage to target player when it enters or leaves play. So you're just getting damage out right there, and you're getting a 3/3 out of it. Yeah, the 3/3 doesn't stay around, but you don't need to, because you just want to get damage with it and then get out of there. Stormblood Berserker. Okay, this isn't foil, I know, but I love the full art. But this is also a card, I don't know. I don't know if it really still hangs. I love it, but I just don't know, maybe it doesn't do enough. I mean, it has evasion, because, you know, it has basically menace. It's a 3/3 for 2 most of the time. I mean, almost all the time. You better play like that. But when you can't, it really sucks. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just not as exciting, but I don't know. Yeah, I like it. I love full art. Okay, here we go. Kargan Dragonlord. This guy, I just love him on, like, so many levels. Get it? But, yeah, he doesn't really hang anymore. He's just too much red intensive. But I love the fact that you can eventually pump him up to be an 8/8 flying trample with fire breathing. Like, I love that idea. I just don't know if it really, you know, happens all too often. I could see eventually cutting this. I just think it's a very fun, dumb card. So maybe I'll just keep it for my cube because it's fun and dumb, and, you know, so is my cube. Sting Scourger. This is once again one of those cards where it comes down, you get value out of it. This one is very nice because it comes down and you get to bounce their creature, which, you know, playing its tokens, that's awesome. Just to get something out of the way so you can attack that turn. It's kind of just like almost a sorcery bounce spell, but if you have enough mana dumped to it, it's also a 2/2. So I love that. It's like a red mana ward that's very expensive, and I'll take that in red. Worm Name Aspirant. This one is one of those ones where it's also like, I don't know if this really hangs anymore. 2 mana for a 2/1, that's fine. If, you know, you do the raid trigger, it's a 3/2 basically, and can't be chump blocked, so very nice. But also, I think it's one of those ones where You get this and you want to play it to get the raid trigger, but you can't, so it kind of sits in your hand for a while, and I hate that, especially in red. So I could see cutting this eventually. Imperial Recruiter, hey, this is the Judge foil. Very nice. Got reprinted in M25, and I'm fine with that because this art is amazing. And this card's just amazing too. I mean, 3 mana for a 1/1, but you get to just search for almost any of your amazing creatures and put it right into your hand. So love that. Blue or red tutor, awesome. Doesn't have any downside except for the creature's power, which that's fine with me. Alicia Who Smiles at Death. This one probably should belong in the multicolored, because to really get its full benefit, you need white or black. So should probably move this. But, you know, 3 mana for 3/2 for a strike. Sure, I'll take that. And if you have the other colors, you're able to just pull creatures from your graveyard and put them back in the battlefield, tapped and attacking. So there's a way for red to get things back from the graveyard, though you have to be in a different color. Chandra's Phoenix, an oldie but a goodie. I still love it. 3 mana for 2/2 flying haste. That's fine, nothing exciting. But, you know, whenever you deal damage by an instant sorcery that's red, you get to just return it to the battlefield or to your hand from the graveyard. So it's just a way to keep getting a creature that when you play it comes down, attacks. If it dies, that's fine. You're gonna be able to get it back eventually. Just, you know, good value all around. And very nice in foil. Goblin Rabblemaster, right there. I need Goblin War Leader or whatever he is to go along with him. 3 mana for 2/2. And I don't like the fact that other goblins you control have to attack, but I mean, the boss also does that too, but you get to just make 1/1 goblin tokens, and whenever he attacks, you know, he gets pumped up by how many goblins you have, so you're just making a small army and attacking for damage. Yeah, a lot of them are going to get chump blocked and die, but maybe you have other ways to pump them up. Maybe you have, yeah, they block your 1/1, they don't suspect you have a kill spell or way to burn it or something like that, so perfect little thing to get around. Hero of Oxid Ridge, 4 mana for 4/2 with haste and Battle Cry, and I love Battle Cry. I don't have enough Battle Cry, I think. And when he attacks, you know, can't be chump blocked basically. Yeah, I don't know if he really hangs either. I think I just liked him because he had a big power and the Battle Cry and all that. So, you know, 4 with haste for 4 mana, that's nice. But yeah, maybe he's gotten a little bit outclassed. Like, I don't think he'd be mythic anymore either. Porophos, God of the Forge. So this guy doesn't really look like he belongs in a red deck, does he? But I have him in here mainly because I have so many ways to make tokens in, you know, green and white. So maybe if you splash for that, you know, he's a nice way to do that. And also easily be able to get his devotion to go off and just have a 6/5 indestructible. And he also has a nice way of pumping up your other creatures. A little expensive, but, you know, just way to do damage, way to pump up creatures. Big creature on himself if you're going a little bit late. I think he's fine, but yeah, maybe eventually cut him if I want to like narrow down my red strategy a little more, but I don't want to. I want to just try and branch it out some. Keldon Champion, once again, another one of those. Comes into play, he has to do he does something, and then he'll eventually disappear. So what's nice about this one is it comes down, you get to attack, and you get to deal 3 damage right away. So right there, you know, maybe 6 damage to a player, very nice. But yeah, I love that. Also, if you have a way to get things back to the graveyard, put on the battlefield or something, boom, right there, you're dealing 3 more damage. Oldie, still a goodie, I'd say. Pia and Karen Nalar. This card, just amazing, and I love that artwork for it. 4 mana for 2/2, but when it comes to play, you get 2 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact tokens, and if you pay 3 and sacrifice an artifact, it deals 2 damage to your creature player. So right there, it's kind of like a Siege King Commander. You're paying mana to sacrifice the things that this makes, and then you're dealing damage. Also, if you have other artifacts, that's another way to get damage. So just all around, great card. Love it. Avalanche Riders, 4 mana, 2/2 haste, Echo. But when it comes to play, you destroy target land. So a little land destruction there, which is annoying, but very nice. I like to have, you know, little individual land destruction. I don't like to have board wipe as a land destruction. That's just dumb. But it has an Echo cost, which is just its own cost. But yeah, I think it's mainly just a way to come down, destroy land, and then, you know, attack for 2, then get out of there, because you're probably not going to pay the Echo cost. Why bother? Hell Rider, I mean, just still an amazing card after all these years. 4 mana, 3/3 with haste, and just when it attacks, so much damage, because you're like, you know, screw it, I'll just attack with everything I can, because I'm going to deal 5 damage just from Hellrider alone, and then everything else, it's so good. It's just one of those cards when it comes down and the opponent's like, ah, crap, I was not expecting this. Flame Tongue Kavu, 4 mana for 2/4, nothing great, but deals 4 damage to our creature, so it's kind of like a kill spell on a creature right there. Always love that. I think there's now like one that's like a 2-drop that deals 2 damage, so that's pretty nice. But yeah, still nice way to take out a lot of things. And like I said, if you have ways to get it back from the graveyard, awesome. Thundermaw Hellkite's just an amazing late creature to have. This comes down, 5-drop, you attack for 5 in the air. You're just, dealing 1 damage to each creature with flying your opponent's control and tapping those creatures, so it cannot get blocked in the air. Oh, this card's amazing. It was broken when it came out. Still kind of broken, and I love it. Zealous Conscripts, another late game where you're just like, hey, I want your creature because it's blocking my thing, or it has an awesome ability, or whatever. Also has combos with like Kiki Jiki and stuff, so love this card. It's like mainly for when you want to go a little different with the red deck, because you don't want this in like your average aggro deck, but very nice. Glorybringer, another like top end for the aggro deck. 5 mana 4/4 flying haste, so it comes down, you attack right away. And if you exert it, deals 4 damage to target non-creature or target non-dragon creature opponent controls. So if it comes down, you exert it, there's something like in the way to kill it or something. Hey, guess what? I'm gonna exert this, deal 4 damage to it, and now you take 4. So good, so good. Next, there he is, Kiki Jiki himself. I mean, yes, 3 red, a little bit much, but I mean, how often? I mean, I guess he'll be splashing, but who cares? By the time you get here, you'll probably have 3 red, hopefully. But yeah, you're just making copies of creatures that are non-legendary, put them in battlefield, then they gain haste, and you're sacking at the end of turn. Zealous Conscript combo right there. Just a nice, excellent little card for just doing stupid shenanigans. Goblin Dark Dwellers is one that could probably easily be cut. I think I added this and never really got to see much play. And I don't see on many lists, so I'm guessing it probably got cut. But, 5 mana for 4/4 menace. That's nice. And you get a spell or instant sorcery. Career mana cost 3 or less from graveyard. Which is also very nice. But maybe this just like doesn't do enough late game. Like you want, Glorybringer and stuff like that as your 5-drop, not something that just like gets back a spell. I don't know. So probably easily cuttable. Siege Jane Commander, always love this card. Just another oldie but goodie. I mean, like Pia, it comes down, creates creatures, and then has a way to sack those creatures to deal damage, just get around things. So this comes down late in the game, and you're like, oh, it's only a 2/2, but you make 3 1/1s, and none of them get through. Guess what? Just gonna sack them all and deal like 6 to 8 damage. So awesome. Inferno Titan, just the Titan cycle is so broken, and this is probably like the least good one. I mean, this one is amazing for a cube, but yeah, just 6 mana for 6/6 comes into play or attacks 3 damage divided as you choose between 1 to 3 targets, and has fire breathing. It doesn't have any evasion, but who cares? It just comes down, hits hard, wipes the board sometimes. So good. Always love this card. And then the last creature, Greater Gargadon, 10 mana for 9/7, but it has suspend 10 for 1 red, and then to remove time counters, you have to sacrifice an artifact, creature, or land. So it's a nice way to just try and cheat something out super fast, because you have all these things like tokens you're making super fast, and you're going to just sack them all to get this 9/7 down. Hope it doesn't die. So, just a fun little card. Maybe not the best strategy, but I think fine enough for cube. And also, if you have ways to get some from the graveyard, you ditch that, you can get a 9/7 early. All right, so there we go for my creatures. Let's move on to instants and sorceries. All right, first up, of course, Lightning Bolt. I have the Player's Reward one, which I freaking love. But yeah, 1 mana, 3 damage. It's, the bar to be set, and a very high bar. I love this card. Never gonna cut that, of course. Why would you? Magma Jet, 2 mana. Deal 2 damage. Doesn't sound great, but it's target creature or player, and the Scry 2 is excellent for red. I could see them eventually maybe printing something better than this, but maybe not, because, just that Scry 2, so nice. Searing Spear, there's so many of these 2 mana, deal 3 damage to target creature or player. I think I just have this one in there because, you know, it's a nice foil. It could be the lightning strike for all I know, but, you know, still, at a certain point, I was just like, I can't have all the 2 mana 3 damage cards. That's just too many. Yeah, cut it down some. Ancient Grudge, this is one probably could be cut. This is like from early in the cube, I just never cut it. But 2 mana, destroy target artifact, flashback green. Problem there is green, so you have to have the second color to get full value out of this. So I think I had the one with replicate in there before, but it was just like, didn't do enough. Oh, here it is, lightning strike, told you. Knew it'd be in here. Once again, it's basically Searing Spear, so there you go. Boring, but it's very effective, very good. Searing Blood, red, for till 2 damage to target creature, and when that creature dies, it deals 3 damage to target creature's controller. So you're trying to hit something that will definitely die, so you can do 3 damage. Maybe they can get cut by now, I don't know. I still like it, but the fact that it's red, and you can only get the full value if you kill something, maybe a little bit too much setup cost. Now, Searing Blaze, that's much better than Searing Blood, I think. 1 damage target creature and player, or 1 damage to target creature's controller. But landfall, it's 3 and 3, so much easier to trigger. Creature doesn't have to die. You're dealing 3 damage to the creature and to the player. So good. A Braid, this is one of the ones I snuck in there somehow later in the cycle. 2 mana to do 3 damage target creature. So only creature, not player. But you can also destroy target artifact if you want instead. So if there's a artifact that's just bugging or something, instead of doing 3 damage, you do this, just destroy it. I like when you have little modes and stuff. Dagger Shock. This one, I just love the full art, but I could easily see cutting this. It's because I love the full art, and I think it's just a fun mechanic. I think Rebound is stupid and fun. And it's 3 mana to deal 2 damage target creature or player, which probably isn't enough, but I don't know. It's just fun. I'd probably cut this easily, though. Char, 3 mana to do 4 damage. That's fine. Target creature or player. It does 2 damage to you, but who cares? You're paying 3 to do 4. Hate this foiling. But, you know, still, it's a cheap way to do 4 damage, and I love that. Chaos Warp, this is easily one in here. It's just because I think it's fun and dumb. It's a nice way for red to get rid of something that it normally can't. So they have, you know, Blightsteel Colossus, which is not in my cube, so they wouldn't have that. But they did. This is the way red could destroy it, or, you know, destroy it, get rid of it. And I think it's just a fun randomness to it that red loves. Stoke the Flames. This card was just an all-star in Standard. Now it's like, it sees no play anywhere except for cubes. And that's because it's amazing, because it can be almost a free 4 damage target creature player. And if you have to pay the 4 mana, who cares? That's fine too. And last, a very oldie but a goodie, Fire Breathing, 6 mana to do 4 damage target player creature, but you can just sacrifice 2 mountains instead, which is what you'll always do because you'll have a ton of mountains that you don't need, and amazing. First up in sorceries, we have Pillar of Flame, 1 mana to do 2 damage target creature player, and you get to exile the creature if it dies, so nice way so they can't do any shenanigans with the graveyard, and hits players. It's cheap, it's slow, but it's cheap. Gamble, a kind of tutor. It's a risky tutor because it's only 1 mana, but you get to get any card, but then you have to discard a card at random. So it could be the card you get, which a lot of times is what happens, which sucks, or a card that's in your hand already, and you're like, I kind of want this card too. So you're going to lose something good usually, but, and also if you have an empty hand, really sucks because that card's going away. Chain Lightning, oldie but goodie. 1 mana, deal 3 damage to target creature or player. Then they can hit you back, but they have to pay double red, and that's probably not going to happen all too often. So easily just a 1-drop 3 mana, or sorry, 1-drop 3 damage to anything you want. Faithless Looting, probably could just cut this card. It's not even good to get banned in Modern, so why bother? No, this card's amazing. There's a reason it's talked about so much in Modern, because you just get to go through your deck and you get to flashback later on, late in the game. It's just a great way to try and get an answer to something. Mizium Mortars, does this hang still? I don't know. It only deals damage to creatures. You can overload it. It's very expensive. 6 mana, triple red. And how often is that going to kill everything? I don't know. This one might not hang anymore. I think that might be cuttable. So let me know in the comments what you think. But 2 mana, deal 4 damage to a creature. Still pretty good, I think. Arc Trail. Arc Trail is nice, you know, 2 mana to do 2, then 1 to something. But is that enough? I don't know. I think sometimes when I play Arc Trail, I'm like, oh, I guess I'll do 2 to this and 1 to you. Sure. I really want to take care of that 3-drop over there, but I can't because I have Arc Trail. So would Fork Bolt be better than Arc Trail? I don't know. Ah, here we go. Here we go. Wheel of Fortune Judge Foil. This card, it's Wheel of Fortune. It's freaking amazing. Any red deck wants this. It's just a great way to draw a bunch of cards when your hand is empty or something. But also, I paid $40 for this card. I was down in Rancho Cucamonga, where my brother lives, and I went to this store called Monstore. I don't think it's around anymore. But I was just looking at their stuff, and it's before I got into Judge Foils. And I saw this for $40, and I was like, maybe, that's pretty cool. I didn't know Wheel of Fortune had a foil. So I was like, okay, I'll buy it. Why not? I was like, it's a little expensive, but who cares? This is before, of course, it shot up to crazy amounts. And then I was like, well, I'm definitely going to put this in my cube later on when I made my cube. And it's been there ever since. And I love this card, and now it's way too expensive. All right, next we have Collective Defiance. This is one of those cards I also got later on and never really got to play too much. Does it still hang? Let me know, because I have no idea. I think it's fine. I don't think it's amazing. 3 mana sorcery. You can do make a target player discard all cards, then draw that many, deal 4 damage to target creature, or 3 damage to target opponent, and you can pay an extra to do a different mode. So 4 mana, you can do. Yeah, I don't know. Like, is this enough? I guess late game. This is like more of a late game card when you just want to do a bunch of stuff. I can see this being good still. So yeah, let me know. Anger of the God. So this is mainly to wipe the board whenever you're getting a little outclassed and make sure they can't do any graveyard shenanigans. But I wonder if it still does enough. I think it probably does, but maybe if it hit players, it'd be nicer. That's like Slagstorm, which is coming up next. But yeah, I think it's still fine. Slagstorm, this one I like because it hits players and creatures. So doesn't do anything against the graveyard, sadly, but the fact that it hits players, it's a nice way to just end the game. Next we got Rift Bolt, which, if you can suspend for 1, always fun, nice. The 3 mana to do 3 damage kind of sucks, but still you're going to play it, and like I said, suspend, very nice. And last, for sorceries, Rolling Earthquake, just a way to wipe the board, deal a ton of damage late in the game when you're just like, screw this, I want this game to be over, let's kill you. Don't like the foiling, but just, like I said, nice whole game ender. All right. Oops. There was one more sorcery there. Totally got stuck to the card. Bonfire of the Damned, amazing card. Just, deals a ton of damage to players or creatures, much like Rolling Earthquake, but can have the Miracle cost, which makes it even cheaper. So love this card. Now let's move on to enchantments and planeswalkers. All right, let's move on to enchantments. First, of course, Sylveric Vortex. I mean, this card probably shouldn't be in cube just because it's so one-sided. This is the type of card where pack one, pick one, you open it, and you're like, I guess I'm going red, and you're just going to destroy because this card is just dumb and not very fun to play against. So I guess in the interest of fun, maybe cut it, but I just love this card because it's so broken. Next, you got to have Splitter Twin, of course. You got Kiki Jiki. Why not have Splitter Twin? Just get those combo shenanigans going off. And just, if you want to make a stupid extra creature you already got with some kind of ETB, great way to do that. Sneak Attack, another one of those ones you should probably cut just because, I don't know, I want red to branch out more, but this is more like, I'm going in this color and I'm just going to take Sneak Attack because it's so much value and I have an Eldrazi, so that's dumb. And I don't know, having Sneak Attack with Eldrazi is just kind of not fun to play against, we'll say. But yeah, this is also only 4 mana, or it costs 4 mana, so it's not like, oh, it comes down super early, but the 1 activation cost is very like, ouch. So yeah, probably easy cutting it, but I like it too much too. All right, moving on to Planeswalkers. Of course, you gotta have a man Koth, just amazing. It's exactly what red wants to do. So much red, you're making a 4/4 mountain, it's attacking with haste, you're making a ton of red mana from your mountains, or you're getting emblem that just has your lands deal damage. I mean, that's amazing, I love this. I saw just a lot of cubes not have Koth, maybe because he's too narrow, because he's just for red, but I love it, so what can I say? Next, you have to have Chandra, of course. She's freaking amazing. 4 mana, just exiling a top card of your library, If you don't, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. So right there, you're getting direct damage for your +1. The other +1 is add to red. Awesome. -3 deals 4 damage to target creature. Way to deal with those big creatures. And -7, an emblem that says whenever you cast a spell, it deals 5 damage to target creature or player. Holy crap. It's just so many things going on. Just a way to sort of draw cards, deal damage, gain mana. Oh, so good. So good. And last, maybe a Planeswalker doesn't hang anymore. I added him, and I never really got to play with him too much. Sarkhan, the Dragon Speaker, 5 mana. Till in a turn, he becomes a 4/4 dragon. That's great. His +1 is he becomes a 4/4 flyer. Love that. -3 deals 4 damage to target creature. Great way to just deal with anything that can attack him or something that's in the way of your other creatures. And as -6, you get an emblem at the beginning of your draw step, draw 2 additional cards, and at the beginning of your end step, discard your hand. So red doesn't care about that. It just wants to draw those extra cards. You know, discarding the hand, that's fine. But also not the most exciting emblem, we'll say. But still a fine card. I don't think he's like, you know, earth-shattering or anything. I think he's just like, oh yeah, he's pretty good for red and can go in other colors. So there we go. Definitely some cards that get cut. There's cards I want to add already. Like I said, Legion War Boss. What's the one, the circus one? Enter the Stage. Love that card. Haven't added that. I think there was another one from like the Ravnica, new Ravnica Legion. So let me know what you think, and sweet. All right, there we go. Like I said, red does what it does. So yeah, gotta confess, haven't updated my cube in quite a while. But what I do love to hear is your suggestions. Like, what do you think I should add to my cube? What do you think maybe I should cut from it? Maybe a little like branch I can go off on something, anything. Love hearing from you guys. Let me know. If you want to follow me on Twitter, booster_tutor, and see you next draft. Maybe a cube draft. Hell yeah.
This program brought to you by viewers like you.